Remember to subscribe to enjoy our latest updates. What is fermentation? Well, in today's video, we're going to discuss the basic knowledge and everything you need to know about fermentation. So, fermentation is defined as the slow decomposition of large organic molecules, like for example, starch, into smaller molecules, like for example, ethanol, by microorganisms. It is also the metabolic process that produces chemical changes to organic substances through enzymes. Now, because of the definition I gave, fermentation is classified as an anaerobic reaction, meaning that it doesn't need oxygen for the reaction to proceed. Now, we have three basic types of fermentation, which are the lactic acid fermentation, the alcohol fermentation or the ethanol fermentation, and the last is the acetic acid fermentation. Well, in today's video, I'm going to discuss about the ethanol fermentation and the acetic acid fermentation. And in my later videos, we are going to look at the lactic acid fermentation. Now, I'd like us to know that every and all fermentation starts with a polysaccharide, like for example, starch. Then this starch, being the beginner of the fermentation process, is broken down by an enzyme called diastase to form maltase. And that's because this enzyme called diastase, is found in the food malt. And as a result, it breaks down starch and forms maltose. And maltose is a disaccharide. So the first step involves breaking down the polysaccharide into a disaccharide. Now, now that the polysaccharide is converted to the disaccharide, then yeast comes in. Now, yeast is a microorganism and it contains two enzymes which are maltase and zymase. Now, this maltose formed is broken down by the enzyme maltase to forming 2 moles of glucose. Now, in most textbooks, you'll see that glucose is broken straight down to form ethanol and carbon dioxide. That's just the straightforward method. A lot of stuff goes on here, and I'll just brief us on what it looks like. The first is that since we are at the glucose molecule now, this glucose molecule is broken down into two pyruvate molecules in a process called glycolysis. Now, I'm beginning to just deviate a little into biology, but I'd like to say strictly on chemistry because I'm the aspiring chemist. So this pyruvate molecule then is broken to yield an acetaldehyde. Now, the IUPAC name is called ethanol. So, from the pyruvate molecules, we get an acetaldehyde and 2 molecules of carbon dioxide. And then this acetaldehyde is then converted to ethanol. So, it's like 4 processes involved in order to get ethanol. But for straightforward reasons, we cannot say that glucose converted by zymase gives us ethanol, carbon dioxide gas, and energy. Now, fermentation reaction releases energy. Yeah, because in animals or plants that take part of the fermentation reaction, they release energy, but the energy release is not much, it's not sufficient enough. But when a situation where you are doing a reaction fermentation, if you notice the first few days of the reaction, the container you're using to ferment maybe pineapple will begin to get hot to around 50 degrees. That's the amount of energy that is being released, and this energy is released as heat energy. In the video I released, Make Vinegar at Home, I didn't say this there, but I'll say it now. The container was very hot the second day I checked it. I used my thermometer, it was about 47 degrees Celsius. It shows that heat is being released, but in animals, that energy release is converted into chemical energy used to do work. Now we have discussed about the first type of fermentation. Now, On to the next type of fermentation, which is the acetic acid fermentation. Now, this fermentation is not that bulky of a knowledge to learn. It just simply comprises of the ethanol gotten from the ethanol fermentation reacting with oxygen in the presence of a bacteria called the acetobacter. This bacteria helps to convert this ethanol into ethanoic acid with the release of 1 mole of water. Okay, that's how we come to the end of today's class. And today we have learned what fermentation is and the two types of fermentation, which are the alcohol fermentation and the acetic acid fermentation. And these two types of fermentation has already been highlighted in one of my other videos, Make Vinegar at Home. Because that video teaches you how to use the knowledge gotten from this video in order to make your own vinegar at home. So feel free to watch that video. So thank you guys for watching. Remember to like and subscribe to my videos so that you keep in touch with my latest updates as I will be discussing about lactic acid fermentation in another of my videos. So stay posted and I'll see you in my next video.